Hello, lovely people. I'm Debs. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Raina Reads Stuff. I'm here in the book shack. I've just turned the heater off. It's a bit cold today, but I've just turned the heater off. Hopefully, it'll stay warm enough. It's Tuesday. I'm going to do a Tag Tuesday. You would not believe how far behind I am with my tags. So, I'm going to do a Tag Tuesday. And I'm going to do one that I was tagged in today because it's the non-fiction November book tag, and I want to make sure I get it done before November has finished. So we'll start with this one and work backwards with some other tags. This is an original tag that was created just days ago, by Bookish Travels, and I was tagged by the lovely Pat at Book Chat with Pat. So, without further ado, there are 8 questions and then a tag some people. So, question 1. What motivated you to pick up your first non-fiction book, and can you remember it? I think that I started reading my first non-fiction books when I was very young. There were a selection of books that were published in the UK for kids called Ladybird books, and they covered a variety of subjects. Often they were retelling fairy tales or famous stories, and other times they were non-fiction. And my particular favourite was one about kings and queens, and it was called Kings and Queens, I think. I don't have a copy of it anymore, sadly. Every year when my parents used to take us on holiday, they were very fond of doing things. You know, we've never been the sort of family that went somewhere and sat on the beach for a fortnight or sat round the pool. We had elements of that, but also we did stuff. We looked at stately homes and castles and parks and all sorts of natural features, and I developed a love of history at a very young age. I read history books because I liked history, but one of the reasons I enjoyed history, I broke my thumb. I've got no idea how I broke my thumb, but I managed to break my thumb on my right hand, and it was all strapped up so I couldn't write. So with my left hand, I attempted to do things at school, and I had a couple of very forward-thinking teachers, and one of them decided that while my hand was all plastered up, she would teach me binary, because it was something I could do with my left hand, just ones and zeros. And the other one taught me to write runes. Sadly, I've forgotten them now, on big sheets of paper. And that encouraged my love of history too. Number 2, how do I choose my next non-fiction read? There isn't any particular formula. It's either because I've fallen down some sort of rabbit hole. For example, I recently read Philippe Sands' book East West Street, which is about the fate of the Jews during the Nazi regime. But there were mentions of other things as well. So now I would like to read something about the Armenian genocide by Turkish rulers. So often it's because of that. If it's not, I'm just going to turn you around a second. In fact, I'm going to move you completely. Look at this, we are mobile. In fact, let's pick you up and carry you. Right, so here, this shelf there, and this one, and this one are my non-fiction shelves. And then up here, am I pointing in the right direction? These are ones that are possibilities for Historathon. That was chaotic, wasn't it? So if I haven't fallen down some sort of rabbit hole, or I'm not doing a group read, I'll just browse those shelves. They're vaguely in order, but they're in my sort of order. So I don't think anyone else would manage to find anything on them. I've got, what have I got? I've got memoirs and biographies first. And then I think I might have mythology. And then I've got politics and economics. Then there's a little sports section. Then we go into the two main sections, one of which is travel writing, of which I'm very fond, and then history. Oh no, there's nature writing before the travel writing as well. So nature writing, then travel writing, then history, and then arts books. There you go. Right, now I've lost the questions. Do you take notes or annotate your non-fiction books? I take notes on pretty much everything. This is the pile of current notebooks that I am using, all for different things. Usually they live over in the corner so nobody sees them. Oh, there's another one under there as well. So I've got, I take notes of quotes. I take random notes, which is just like a scribble pad. Half the time I can't understand what I've written when I go back and look at them. But yes, I'm a note taker, always have been. How do you feel about this is question, oh no, wrong question. 4, have you read a non-fiction book that challenged your beliefs and assumptions? I actually try to do that on a regular basis. It was something my dad and I used to do. Well, my mother used to come in and demand to know why we were arguing again. What we were actually doing was having a debate. My dad taught me that I could have whatever opinions I liked as long as I could back them up with facts. And so we would sit and we had quite differing views about certain things. And we would literally debate them. And he'd have his go, I'd have my go, I'd attack his arguments, he'd attack my arguments. So I seek out books that challenge what I believe, because I'm never going to know it all. In fact, I know very little, and therefore I have to learn from books and other people. And the only way to do that is to read books that challenge you. They challenge what you believe in. Where's the fun in reading something that you always agree with? Yeah, that's my views on them anyway. How do you feel about the intersection of storytelling and factual content in non-fiction? I've read a wide variety of stuff that is as dry as could be, and it is a struggle to get through it. partly for professional reasons. I mean, the volume of stuff put out by councils and government organisations, etc., 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 that is trying to hoodwink you into believing the message they're trying to put across, and they bury the details in this mass of rubbish that you have to work through. Also, I've read some history books that I didn't enjoy so much because they were probably written for other academics rather than written for the layman like me. So I like a bit of storytelling in my non-fiction books, because otherwise you might just as well be reading the phone book, I think. Is there a topic you wish authors would explore? Question number 6. Now, let's face it, most things have been written about. I think perhaps I'm interested in reading about hate, which sounds ridiculous, but I want to know why people hate. I want to know where that animosity comes from. I want to know how people can be compelled to hate whole swathes of the population that they've never met, that they know nothing about. But other than that, most subjects have been covered, I think. If I wanted to find something about a particular subject, I'm sure I could track it down somewhere. Do you incorporate insights from nonfiction into your daily life? Yes, I suppose I do. I'm not a great one for self-help books, but I am a great one for, if I don't know what to do about something, or I don't know how to do something, the very first thing I turn to is a book. And some of those things stick. So there are things like daily writing practices that I do because I initially read about the ideas in a book and found they worked for me. Yeah, it tends to be about my writing practices, I think, that I do that the most. Choose just one book from your non-fiction collection to highlight. Actually, before I do that, I forgot to show you this. I want to show you this and this is challenging my beliefs and assumptions. It's this book, Me and White Supremacy. It's by Layla F. Saad. How to Recognize Your Privilege, Combat Racism, and Change the World. This book really made me think. I like to believe that I am not racist in any way, shape, or form. I have the colour of people's skin doesn't matter to me at all. This book made me realise that it should, because it's not enough just to treat individuals and groups of people, whatever their creed or colour, the same, you have to actually recognize that you, and I mean you, one as a middle-aged white woman in England, has certain privileges that other people haven't had. And this book really opened my eyes for as someone who thinks of herself as quite enlightened, or thought of myself as quite enlightened on the subject of race and religion, etc., etc. This really opened my eyes. Right, choose just one book from your non-fiction collection to highlight. Are you ready for this? This is one of my favourite things in the world. This is a Lonely Planet guide to every country in the world. It's called The Travel Book. I've probably had it. I think I bought this for myself for my 40th birthday, but I'm not sure. One of my hobbies is photography. One of the things I absolutely love about this book are the photographs in it. So I've shown this before. Hold on, I'm having issues with the layout. That's it. Each country has a double page spread, and we have a lot of pictures in comparison to the text, but on the other side of the page, on the right hand side, so down here, we have all sorts of things. We have a short explanation about the country, and it is only a paragraph. Then we have the best time to visit. Then we have essential experiences. So if you visit, these are the things you ought to tick off your list. There's a word, there's a trademark, there's surprises. So it gives you a few surprises. It's got a little map. But then it's got a section called Getting Under Your Skin. And this is the bit that I like. So we have, I'm looking at the pages for Albania. We have something to read, something to listen to, something to watch, something to eat, and something to drink. And for armchair travellers, I've done a fair bit of travelling, but I haven't been anywhere new or exciting for ages. So for armchair travellers, this is the best way to learn about a particular country. It suggests authors. So for Albania, we're looking at Broken April by Ismail Kadari, who is one of Albania's most famous contemporary authors. I know that because I've read it, because I was heading to Albania, and so I read this book. Listen to traditional Albanian music, and this one suggests Albania vocal and instrumental polyphony. Watch L'America, which is a stark look at post-communist culture in Albania. Eat Fergus, which is a rich beef stew. I haven't tried that. It's got a suggestion for wine. If we turn to, where are we now? Equatorial Guinea. Read Mary Kingsley's 1897 classic Travels in West Africa. Listen to a traditional orchestra of drums, wooden xylophones and sanzas, which is a small thumb piano made from bamboo. It's just a never-ending source of inspiration, this book, and I absolutely love the photographs as well. But mostly, I love it for that little section that tells you what to listen to, watch, read, taste, to get the essence of that country. So that's it. That's the end of the tag. Tag some people, it says. Pat has tagged everybody I know. So if you'd like to do this tag, as it's Nonfiction November, go for it. And I think it's a lot of fun. Thank you to Bookish Travels for creating it. That's it from me for today. Thank you for popping by. I do appreciate it. And I shall be back with some more randomness sometime in the week. I'm really going to try and do a couple more tag videos. So if you fancy it, pop by and see it. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to. Thank you for watching, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.